Oh, hey there, folks. You're listening to Service from Hell, a podcast featuring people that are currently in customer service positions or the lucky few that got out and all of the good, bad, and infinitely irritating things that go along with that work. I'm actor and writer Kate Gaffney, and I am coming on at the top of the show to let you know that this is a special episode from when I was in London. I did some street interviews about the differences between customer service in the United States versus in the UK, and the fundamental influence that tipping culture has on the type of customer service that you receive and the literal way that you are spoken to and treated when you enter any establishment in the US versus in the UK. So it was fascinating, and I was actually really surprised at the almost 100% consensus about if they want to bring tipping culture to the UK and how they think that would affect things both positively and negatively. So get ready to enjoy some super fun accents. I wish I had so many more interviews, but the ones that I did get, I'm super grateful for. And thank you so much to all the people that were willing to participate. In the show notes, you'll have references to all of the various restaurants and bars and places that I went into. Everyone was so generous with their time. And there's a gentleman that is the proprietor of a hair salon who I get the most time with. And his company or the name of his salon will be in the show notes as well. He was delightful and actually scheduled an appointment for me to come back and actually get more of his time whilst he was trying to run a business on a very busy day. So I was just rocking up to people and being like, hey, can we talk? And I got very few no's. I was really surprised. And it was so funny because I was walking around with a microphone and I'm weird and I'm handing out this logo that says Service from Hell. I'm so grateful for the people that gave me their time, and I was really grateful for the perspective. So shout out to all my friends in the UK. I had the best time with all of you. You all are lovely. And whilst I disagree with the overwhelming majority of your takes on customer service culture, I do agree that you are in a lovely country. So thank you everybody who hosted and made sure that I had a great time whilst I was there. And thank you for everyone that let me interview them. Okay, let's get on with the show. Okay, it is, September 1st? No, August 31st, September 1st. It is September 1st, 2022. I am at 10 Islands Coffee and Smoothies with Junior, who is from Cape Verde, which is an island nation. And, Junior, do I have your permission to record the answers to these questions?
Yes, you do.
Okay,
Yes.
Lovely. And why is your business called 10 Islands?
There's my background, where I came from. I came from Cape Verde, which we have 10 islands there. And then the first idea just keep Cape Verde close to me.
Okay, lovely. And what is it that you sell?
Oh, here, basically we sell coffee and the juices.
Okay. He's got a customer, so we're going to pause.
I didn't even notice the space was open.
Oh, yeah. Quite a lot of people say the same thing.
Yeah.
We've been here almost 4 years now.
Nice. Yeah. Do you have anything to do with the gym upstairs?
Yeah, no, it's separate. They're always here for the smoothies and juices.
You're making your money. Oh, you're working. Okay, so it's 10 Islands Coffees and Smoothies. So you came up with that because of the Cape Verde's 10 Islands.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where I came from.
And you have been in London for how long?
I've been here roughly 7 years now. Yeah.
And how was it opening a business out here?
To be honest, it was quite. For me, it was. I came here. I'm going to tell you my story. I just came here working. My first time, I found a job in hospitality, which is a coffee, and that time was a coffee and the pastries and the kind of things. And I worked there for 4 years, and then I got my experience about coffee, berries and stuff. I said, me and my cousin, and then we said we have to open something for us, and then we just started the coffee and cake in Brixton, and then it was in 2018. Now we just, we are in the same path now. Yeah.
Okay, and as far as hospitality goes, did you work in a hospitality in Cape Verde as well, or have you only ever done it out here?
No, because I went to Portugal when I was around 16, and then the time my first work was in Portugal. And then I worked as a chef in Portugal when I came here. Yeah, I didn't have any experience about this. What I'm doing now, life sometimes just I shoot you for the expected what you what you're expecting for, basically. Yeah.
Okay, and what is your favorite part of being in customer service?
My favorite part to being like in the customer service is basically when people come here, it's just like a good morning. Sometimes they just change your day, or good afternoon, Yeah, I love it.
What's your least favorite part?
In the customer service, okay. Sometimes people just give you a hard time when they choose something, and then once you have done the things, like you like anything else, and then they try to like, it's not I wasn't looking for. Can you do different ones? Like, okay, yeah, I can do different things for you. What did you like? And then they keep asking something that doesn't make sense in the business. But yeah, you have to. As they said, always customer have a right. Yeah, they always right. Yeah.
Do you feel that way? The customer's always right.
In terms of business, I didn't. How can I say it? When I was working for someone else, I say like I didn't agree with this word. Customers is always right. Which is like there's something they do something very very tricky. You say like no, they are not right. But when I open my business, I can say the customer is always right. Yeah.
Why did your perspective change? Like, why did that change for you?
Yeah, because when you have when you own a business, yeah. And then what do you expect for customers is a really really soft customer service. But when they come, for example, to say, okay, I don't want this, I want that. I cannot explain it. I cannot agree with that, because basically I want them to come back. Basically, what's the point is like, okay, whatever you wrong, I put the position that you right, but what I mean that is you to come back. Make you comfortable. Whatever mistake you do, you always right. You have to come back next time. That's my goals. Yeah.
That's honest. Okay. And so, what would be the one thing you would change about customer service culture in London or in the UK that is hard to adjust to? Like something that is just sort of part of the culture out here, but you're like, ugh, that's hard.
Okay, before customer service, what in London or in England, I don't understand when, okay, you are by yourself, you are your own in the shop, and then if you do something else in the shop, and the customer just come, and then if you don't tell them hello, they just go, and then they don't say hi, can you help me? No, they just go straight away. They don't wait for you to say, That's my harder part as well.
So you find that you have to greet everybody that comes in, or they won't buy anything?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, well, when they come here inside my shop, that means a lot, because they know that I'm here. Even though they don't buy anything for the first time, but they go and they always they have on their mind that Junior is here, or coffee is here, or juices is here. They do juices here. That counts a lot as well.
Okay. And you had told me off the mic that your parents are living in the United States and you've been there to visit. So have you noticed a difference in like the tipping culture? Because I've noticed out here it's not very common to tip at all. And so do you find that the customer service experience is different when there's people that are tipped versus not tipped? Or do you see the differences between the United States and here?
Oh yes, that's a huge difference between United States and here. Basically, I can tell you that I've got my small tips here, but I used to have it in front of the customers, right, in front of the till. But yeah, it's reached a point that I say like, do I look not good? Do I look being put in these small jars, tip jars in front of the customers? Let me take it out. I take that off and then I put it right behind me, because I see here in London they don't have this culture to tip, even though you give it like the best customer service, but they don't have this culture. And I can see as well, I can tell that when it's American people come here, they always, I don't say like 100%, but 95% of people that come here, they tip. That's agreed. I have to agree with that. Yeah.
So will they say to you, oh, hey, where's your tip jar if they are American, or will they just give you extra pounds?
Well, if it's American, if they pay by card, they always tell me, put more £1. If they, I don't know, it's just it's something different. They just look after you. I said as well, the people from here as well, they tips as well. I can't say that they tips, but it's more or less than American people.
Do you get treated differently in that, like, do you notice the customer service is better or worse in the United States? I know you haven't been there a lot, but do you find it's better? And it's because the assertion is people out here have said, oh, we get the best customer service ever in the United States because you guys are working for tips. Do you notice that you're treated better over there in like a restaurant bar setting than here?
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you have something about tips, you know that the people are gonna look after you. You know, what you have to do is just you have to do your best. You know, it's just for me, when you have a business, for example, if your shop, for example, is always busy, you wake up in the early morning, you come in the shop, you know that you're gonna give your all for your day, especially when you, for example, you are a waitress. And then if you know that the people are going to look after you, what you have to do is just like a double the care about the customer service, about the people that you are in the table to serving. That's what I'm saying. That means that if you know that people are going to give you tips or whatever, yeah, of course, your customer service would be like a greater or more efficient as well. Yeah.
And how many languages do you speak?
Me, I do English, I do Portuguese, Spanish. We have our mother language in Cape Verde, which is a Creole. I do Creole as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make you say something in Creole in a minute. But okay, so is there any advice that you would give to customers who interact with customer service workers? Like, what's something you would say that would be positive for customers to learn from you having owned your own business? What is it that you want them to know when they interact with anybody who works in customer service? So not just you.
Exactly. Basically, they need to understand about there is a kind of different type of business. Customers sometimes come here in my shop. They kind of think about the price. You can't come with the high quality of products to be the same price with the supermarket. It can't be true. We can't put the price down the same with the Asda or Lidl or whatever. They need to understand that they being the small company that everything is handmade. There's a big difference between the handmade stuff. It's a few things to do about customer service. Basically to be very, very strict. If you want to order something, we just like be very directly what you like. You know, that's give less job for us as well. But yeah, kind of things I don't understand them as well. As I said to you earlier, that customers always right. You know, for me, I'm here to help. You know, that's my goals to give them opportunity to give a mistake, and then I'm here to correct it as well. Yeah.
Wow, you're very, very nice. You're not jaded at all. Okay, and then for our listeners who might speak Creole, can you I don't know, throw something in, anything you want to say in Creole?
To say Kate is Kate knows what to do. She's doing great job, and then the Creole is like. Kate está a fazer bom trabalho. You're doing well.
Bom trabalho. I kind of understand that. That's a little bit Spanish.
I mean, yeah, kind of like Portuguese broke. Like in Portuguese we say trabalho. In Creole we say trabalho. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Junior. You were lovely. And give people the address so that my listeners can know where to come to see you.
Okay, it's in Clapham Junction, right across, right opposite the station, a train station, Clapham Junction. Next door for Metro Bank, which is a 12 rounds boxing down to 12 rounds boxing.
Okay, everybody who, when you visit London, come see Junior. There's a lot of really good stuff here that I'm looking at. Thank you so much for your time. And all right, we'll talk to you later. Okay, what's your name?
Felix Murray.
Okay, Felix, do I have permission to record you?
Yes.
Okay. Felix, you are a bartender here at, where are we?
Hannah Battersea, bar supervisor, yeah.
Okay. And do you, have you visited the States?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Have you noticed a difference between tipping culture, where like in the States we very frequently tip, and here it's sort of less so? Have you noticed a difference between the two?
I have. When I went to the States, I was a lot younger, so I wasn't really aware of kind of what goes on here and there, but I knew then about it, and from watching TV shows as well, to be honest. You can kind of see it a lot.
Okay. And do you think that the customer service experience over here would be enhanced if tipping were more frequent?
I think so. I've worked at a few places. I've noticed in different people get motivated, like staff-wise, they get motivated by different things. I think if people knew they could earn more money by getting more tips, and I think they'd work a lot harder, but a lot of people do get lazy sometimes, I think, yeah.
Do you think if your bar implemented that, the customers would be put off? Like if you added a tip line, how do you think that would be received?
So the way we do it, we have two different sections. We have our restaurant section and our bar section. Everyone in the restaurant gets table service, and then a discretionary 12.5% service charge is on that. However, from the bar side, then you order everything as you go at the bar, and that way we don't charge for that. So I think the way we do it here is okay. Kind of giving people the option as well, and most people are happy to do it.
Have you ever had anybody ask for that to be taken off?
Not personally. I've only been here 2 weeks, so.
Okay. And would you understand, like, what would be because I guess I didn't know it was discretionary. So what I could do is I could take my receipt to you and say, hey, like, I don't want this on here?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I couldn't do that. Okay. And how long have you been a bartender?
7-8 years, give or take.
Okay. Favorite part of customer service?
Meeting new people. I mean, you get some bad ones along the way, obviously, but I mean, you get to meet a lot of interesting characters too.
Least favorite part?
Say that again, sorry?
Least favorite part?
Least favorite part, the rude people.
Can you tell me one story of like the worst customer you can think of? You don't have to name the person, but the worst experience you had?
Oh God, I haven't had too many, to be honest. I mean, the one I can think of most recently is when I was working somewhere else, someone came in already probably like a little bit drunk, but it's hard to tell sometimes straight off the bat. And he bought himself a Jaeger bomb. He then spilt his Jaeger bomb straight away, and then told me to refill it. I said, sorry, I can't refill it for you. If I spilt it, then that's on me, and I'll refill it for you, but you've just spilt it yourself. I can't fill it up for you. And straight away his attitude switched like that, and swearing and name calling under the sun, and so yeah, I barred him straight away, obviously.
So do you have discretion to be able to be like, get out of my bar?
Yeah, I think I'm being experienced in it for however long I have been, and having kind of managerial training as well, I've learned how to deal with people like that, and you just have to stand up to them.
Okay. And another difference between the states and here is like there's very strict over-serving policies in the states that can get you individually sued as a bartender. Is the same true here?
Yeah, I've worked at a few places, and I've only actually had the training where I've been told that in one of those places. I think a lot of people don't realise it, and English culture is easy to have a drink. If someone's drunk but they're not aggressive or anything, then sometimes people don't mind, but you have to be careful of, if you give them that one extra drink and they hurt themselves or hurt someone else, you're liable for giving them that drink. I think more people should be aware of it, but it is a thing here. Yeah.
And what do you wish everybody knew when they were going to interact with bar staff or like customer service workers? Like, what's one thing you wish every customer kept in mind?
Just that we're people too. And everyone needs to kind of treat each other the same way, and you're not the number one just because you think you're next in line at the bar. Just be patient and just like understand that we have a stressful job, like as well as a lot of other professions, obviously. But I mean, a lot of the time, I've seen it with new people as well, and someone's just started working behind the bar, and people just don't have the patience to kind of just wait and let them do their job, even with a little bit of help.
Okay, last question. Is there anything petty that you did? Obviously, you would never do it now at your new job, but previously as a bartender, was there anything petty you did for customers who were out of line that you couldn't kick out of your bar, but you were like, okay, I'm going to make sure I do this very British sort of, I'm not overtly being rude, but I'm going to do a thing?
I don't think so. I mean, the worst thing I could think of was when I first started out, and if someone was way too drunk and I didn't really know how to turn them down, I would just underpour them.
Oh, smart.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. And are Americans rude to you when they come here, or are we loud?
I mean, I just came from Southampton, and we have quite a lot of American guests coming because of the like not the ferries, coming into the port. So recently I had like a group of 6 or 7 from Dallas, and they were just absolutely lovely.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I haven't come across too many, to be honest, but I've never had a bad experience with any.
Lovely. Thank you for your time. Thanks for letting me interview you. Anything else you want to say while I have you? That's it. Okay. Thanks, Felix. Thanks, Felix.
People think they haven't been served properly, or if it's literally been for one drink, someone's been made to have table service for whatever reason, especially after COVID, because when we first opened up, it was you had to be sat down. There was no ordering at the bar, even if it was at just a bar that did no food or anything. And people would then put one drink on for someone, put a service charge on top of that. So instead of paying £6 for a pint, you're paying £6.60, and like it adds up. So I know people got annoyed about that, but that doesn't really happen anymore.
How does that get divided up amongst the staff? Do they get it on their checks, or like how do they?
What the service charge? Everywhere I've worked has been different. We only take card here, so it's quite easy for everything just to go in to that one card pot, and then. Like I said, I've only been a few weeks. I'm pretty sure I just get split however many hours that you work in that specific week or month.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Felix. I really
What was your
appreciate
name?
it. Kate Gaffney.
Kate.
Yeah, with the T. Okay, what's your name?
It's Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. What's your name?
James.
James. Hi, James. Okay, so you gentlemen work for the municipality. Would that be fair to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever have to interact with customers?
All the time. All the time, yeah.
What's the hardest part of that?
I say rudeness mainly from people when they don't really think about yourself, I say. I say they don't think we're humans as well, shall we say. That's what I really think, really. Manners just go a long way, in my opinion, but people don't really, especially around London now, so it's hard to find manners as well, especially.
Yeah. What would you say?
Probably the respect that you get from some of the customers. A lot of them are respectful, but some of them just don't really want to talk to you, but they open the door. But other than that, it's probably trying to get your point across, where they seem like they don't want to hear what you've actually got to say. So it's like one-way sort of street sort of thing with them.
So what would be something you would have to tell a customer that they would get mad about?
So when they're saying we're putting in the meters or something like that, you turn their water off. It's like, well, we're only doing it for a little second. It's not, they're expecting it to be for a week or two. Where it's like, no, we haven't explained the whole job, and they just go straight at you. Like, no, I don't want it. It's like, if I finish, it's only going to be 30 seconds off and then back on again. That's probably the hardest part with them.
So do you have to bite your tongue a lot?
Yeah, bite my tongue, because obviously you still have to give respect to the customers either way, regardless of how they treat you. You still got to show the respect, because that's the way I grew up anyway, so I'm not going to change it just because someone's being rude, so yeah.
Good for you. Have you ever been tempted to say something and just had to like walk away?
Oh, 100%. That's a daily thing, I feel like. 100%. Someone says something, I'm just like, I'm here to do my job, I'm not here to get fired for something stupid or anything like that. So 100%, I have to walk away and just pretend that never happened, to be honest with you, and just get on to the next job. We'll write that off. I tell my supervisor that they just didn't want to do it, and there's, it might be a threat of them being violent or whatever. So I was like, no, not for me. So I walk away. Good
for you. And was there ever a situation where you felt nervous that they were about to do something to you?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I say yeah in some cases, but I'm still very new to what I'm doing now, to be honest. But I was working in like leisure industries for a few years, and there's obviously some gym freaks out there as well who think they're bigger and tougher and everything like that. And if they don't get their own way, some have got quite violent, and that's when I had to call the police and and all this. But thankfully, nothing's really happened like that. Thankfully.
Yeah, that's great. And what's your favorite part of what you do now?
interacting with customers, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because you obviously it's not just the people that you knock on the doors. It's like people like walking down the street. They'll stop and ask you, well, what you're doing, and actually be interested in it and actually listen to what you got to say. Some of them, and obviously with the customers, you get to talk to them a lot more. Some of them you actually go into more depth. So you talk about yourself, and they talk to you about themselves as well. So it is nice meeting with different people, different cultures, religions, and all of that. So yeah, that is a good part about the job.
Oh, that's cool. Same question to you. What's your favorite part of the job?
I would say learning new skills. That's what I found the most really out of this job I'm currently doing. It's brand new to me. So learning new skills, and if you do get the nice, really lovely, it's normally elderly people, shall we say. Once you get the really lovely elderly people, it really does make your day really much more nice.
When you speak to them, it does make your day better because they haven't got no one to talk to you, and then when you make that conversation with them, they can interact with them a bit more, so they feel happy as well. So it is really good when you talk to them.
Do they ever invite you in for tea?
All the time, but you say no in it because you have a job to do and you got to get to the next. So yeah,
Really?
I always say no, but I do thank them for it though.
Do you say no for tea too?
Yeah, you have to say no, to be honest. It's as lovely as the gesture is. As well, I think they've already said that to us. We're not actually allowed to take anything from customers either. As well, on top of that. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to say yeah. I was like, yeah, thank you very much. It's really generous, but.
And do you guys always work in a team at this job, or are you by yourself?
By the time, by yourself most of the time.
Really?
Yeah, but that's obviously because you're doing the meters. You get given a road. We're just like trying to figure out what suppliers, so we're proving at the moment. So that's when you work in a team to make it easier for yourselves.
Okay, so what is it when you say the meters? You mean that's
The meters, so that what goes into the boxes on the floors, you'll see. So we put them in. So you only need one person to do it. But when you're proving like a block of flats, you need to know which supplier's which. So one person will be up there checking on the water, and another person will turn the taps off, the meters off. So that's the only time you're really working with someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's one thing you wish everybody knew that was interacting with like customer service workers?
I just think, just as I said earlier, really, I think it's all about the manners, in my opinion. If you don't agree with the work some people are doing, then I say bite your tongue. If it's affecting you, that's when you could say something respectfully. But if they do your job, they do the job for you, and it's a good job, just tell them that. Tell them that they've done a good job, and they're thankful for it, sort of thing.
So you like hearing if someone says like, "Hey, good on you! Like you did a great job."
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. If I've done the job, and it took me, it was a long one as well to do. Some of them can take me 25, 30 minutes. One little job, and I've got like 30 to do, or 25 to do a day. So yeah, that one person saying, yeah, thank you for that, it really does help. It does help.
What's something same question to you. So like the thing you wish everybody knew, it might be the same answer as before, but like the thing you wish everybody knew when interacting with you guys.
Just how hard our job can be.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously every job's hard as it is, whatever it is. So it's just like understanding that person's might look like they're happy, but they might be going through a stressful time as doing your job. So I would say like them to understand that a bit more, that you don't know what that person's going through with that job. So a bit more respect would be nice when you're, especially within retail as well. Because I know how the way that people treat retail staff. Because I used to work in IKEA, so I've known how people work that treat you as a staff and expect everything to be given to them, but they're not the only person in the store or on the road or whatever you're doing. So it's like to have a bit more consideration to what that person's doing for their job. That's what I would like people to know.
Have you been spoken to outside, like called outside of your name is what we'd say in the States? Like have you been called something other than your name?
Yeah, many times. Oh, I don't take it though. I won't take it. That's if you become verbally disrespectful to me, then I'm not going to be in my role. That's when you're taking it personal levels. That's different to being in work, I feel. So, but you also have to try to hold your tongue. But when it goes to certain types of disrespect, that's when it's like, that's not happening. Yeah.
What's the worst thing that happened at IKEA?
We won't talk about that.
Okay, good. That's the right answer. Yeah, you're like
talk about that one because it's not. It's something you wouldn't want to feel happen to you being in my ethnicity. So I've had to deal with that. But it's like it's walk of life. You have to deal with it at some point, but you have to decide how you deal with it, and then show them that you're a better person than them in general.
Hello. Do you mind saying what your ethnicity is
Black.
Okay, there you go. That's real. See, in the States, we'd have to tiptoe around that.
Yeah, no, I was straight to it. I was black, so yeah, it was more racial. So that's when I take it outside of the job. That's not to do with the job. You're now taking it personal.
Did your manager support you in your defense of yourself?
No, that's why I left the company.
Oh, good for you.
I was like, if you ain't gonna support me for that, and then trying to be like, oh yeah, no, when I say something, then you're like, oh yeah, no, you don't show the respect anyway. So I left that.
Good for you. And then what's the best thing, the best customer interaction you've had ever?
Probably like talking to someone yeah, talking to someone about how their life and my life, like what we've all been through. It's like somehow we just got into a conversation while I was doing the job, and then we just actually spoke about our lives to each other, like what hardships and all the good stuff and everything. So it was kind of weird, but yeah, that was nice.
That's lovely.
That's a nice one.
What about you? Best customer interaction you've had?
Oh, I'd say, it didn't happen too long ago, actually, for this job anyway. It was, sorry, I'm getting distracted by the police. They just go. So, no, I say it's a couple of weeks ago. There's a lovely gentleman came out, and he was just talking to me about he's got work soon, basically. And I was like, oh, what do you do? And he's a swim teacher. And he was so enthusiastic about it, but I was on his level because I was a swim teacher as well. So we was just having a good long conversation, and he ended up being late to work just because he was having a good conversation, and he was really happy to have that conversation and stuff like that. And yeah, he was really respectful as well on that side of things. So it was really nice to have, 100%.
Thank you, gentlemen, so much for your time. This was so lovely. Is there anything else you wish customers knew, or anything else you want to say for an American audience? Like, do you notice a difference with tipping culture? Is there anything?
We don't do tipping here.
Yeah. So do you wish we would?
No, not really, because it's not all people who do work in that sort of. So what is that? The hospitality.
Yeah.
Most of the people that work in there are rude anyway. So why should I tip? No, that's the honesty. Like you can go anywhere.
You feel that
Yeah, 100%. It's like you obviously get the nice people, but when you get the rude ones, they expect to get tipped as well. It's like no, you get tipped for your service you give. Yeah. So obviously you expect people to respect you for your job, and we expect you to respect us while we're ordering. Yeah. And all that, and not be just having a screw face, but smile when you come there, be happy about it. Yeah. I know you don't want to work there, but you don't want to work there, but you can't put that towards the customer and expect to be getting tips. That's what I think.
I agree with that. In the States, that's rampant. They're tip me anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. You're working that job. That's the pay you got told. Yeah. If you get tipped, it's based off of how you dealt with the customers.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how it should be.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else you wish customers knew?
Well, as we're talking about the tipping side of things, I as well agree that we shouldn't make it a thing here, to be honest. I feel like life is expensive as it is. So if people are saying about tipping, like they expect it and stuff like that, I don't think it's. I don't know. It's like me. I'm going out to work. I'm not expecting any tips. Like I feel like if people are as generous as that to do it, then so be it. But I don't think we should normalise it here, especially, just because.
If we did do tips, we have to get the right people to work in the places that will smile and make you want to be there and come back.
So you would tip if someone...
Yeah, definitely would tip if there was the right people and it was nice and everything. Then yeah, I would do it. It's not a problem. But when you're rude, you don't deserve it.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah.
We don't have to normalise it though. We will never normalise it. Yeah.
Normalise it if everyone that works in hospitality is nice and smiles every time you go in there. That's the only way. Sure. But that's not gonna happen. So no.
Okay. Thank you both so much. You were so lovely. I'm gonna give you. Well, what is today? Today is September 1st. Where are we? What city?
Clapham Junction.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we're at.
London.
We're London. Yeah, central London. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Okay, September 1st, we are at, I'm so sorry, the name.
22 North Salon.
22 North Salon. Okay, and what is your name?
Walter.
Walter, are you okay with me recording you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Walter, where are you from?
Italy.
Okay, how long have you been in London?
11 years.
Okay, is this your salon?
Yes.
Okay, have you always worked in
It's only been open for 6.5 years.
Oh, okay. Have you always worked in cosmetology? Has that been your main?
No, I used to work in properties before, so I'm not a hairdresser, so I just manage it. I own it and manage it. So
okay.
I opened it with my business partner, basically. So.
What made you pick something that you hadn't worked in before?
It just was something very exciting. So I like photography and I wanted to get into it, into fashion, some sort of. So I met him and I was like, why not? And London is like the mecca of hair. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's where all the trends start from, basically. Yeah.
Okay, so what?
So it used to be in the past, obviously. Now it's pretty much everywhere with the internet, and social media. You see trendy things everywhere.
Okay. And you said you did properties before that. Have you always worked kind of in some version of customer service?
Yeah, sort of. Once I left university, I basically worked on cruise ship as a receptionist. So I was always there, looking after customers.
Okay. Did you like working on a cruise ship?
Yes and no. Like, I traveled all around the world. I did it for about 9 months. I did Mediterranean, Caribbean. So I saw quite a lot. But you end up working 24/7 for the entire time. So you do have time off. But when people see you, they recognize you and they start asking you questions. And obviously, you just have to keep doing your job, even if you're not working. So.
Oh, was that? I mean, were you exhausted all the time?
At the end of the time, because you can work up to a maximum of 4 months, and you do get exhausted, so you need to get some time off. But at the same time, you kind of miss it once you are off the ship, so you kind of want to go back.
What do you miss?
You miss the environment. If you happen to have good colleagues and a good work atmosphere, you end up liking it because it's like working on holiday. You know what I mean? It's fun because you see people that are always happy because they're on holiday. They're not always angry. There are some angry customers. Or people that are just like that. But if things don't work or if they have a problem, of course they may be a bit upset. But other than that, it's all happy people. So you can enjoy it.
Okay. And would you be able to tell the difference from how various cultures would interact with you, like someone from a different?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You could tell straight away.
Okay.
Like you could tell probably French people will go straight at it. Italians would probably say, because we used to have flags on the shirt, so with the languages that we could speak. Italians were like super happy, especially if you were on the other side of the world. They're like, "Oh, you're Italian! Oh, come on!" It's like they felt at home, having somebody from their own country. So did the Spanish. The Americans were a bit. Sometimes they felt entitled.
Sometimes what? Americans? No way.
Sometimes they felt entitled. And the Brits tend to, at least back then, and I can tell even from here, they say things in a way that they go around what they want, but they never direct. And if they have to complain, they never go straight to the point. They just go around in circles, and
Okay, I'm so fascinated. You have to tell. So could you give me an example of like, okay, so I'm British and I'm upset that the hairdresser cut too much hair off or something. So that's what I'm upset about. What would I say to you?
they won't say anything. So they leave, they're happy, they laugh. And they go, "Oh, it's amazing! I love it. Probably never had a haircut like this before." Then they leave. A couple of hours. They either email you or they call and they go, "Oh, I think you cut a bit too much. Or probably the highlights are a bit lighter." We had a customer once who was This was the funniest moment of since the salon opened. We did some highlights. See, this lady came, we did a color correction. So she came with very awful hair. We did a color correction and we did some highlights, but very subtle. She loved it. She was amazed. We took pictures. She took pictures. She seemed blown away by the job that the hairdresser did. After a week, she called. She had been on holiday. And she goes, "Oh, my highlights seem to have disappeared." It's like, what do you mean they have disappeared? It's like, first of all, you've been away on holiday because you had told us that you were away. So the color for sure is a bit faded after you went on holiday. It's normal. But how is it possible that the highlights disappear? It's like, yeah, because when I came, I had very light highlights. Now you could barely see the highlights. They disappeared. It's like, well, but because we did exactly what you asked for. If you were not happy, why didn't you see it back then? It's like, oh no, because when I left the salon, I actually liked them, but then I ended up not liking them after.
Okay, but you can't do anything about that. You liked them at the time.
About that. You changed what you liked. There's nothing we can do. So, and we get a lot of that. There's a lot of people who tend to be a bit foxy about it. Foxy is the right way. Like, I don't know, if someone is... probably the blow dry didn't last because obviously we're in London and
it rains.
And, it rains. If you get it wet, we could do obviously our best to make it last. But if he goes, oh well, the blow dry didn't last until the evening, it's like, but come on, it depends on what you do with your hair all day long. It's not that we are magicians that we can make, just a simple blow dry last, especially if your hair is cut in a certain way. So not every haircut is suitable for all types of blow dries. And so there's all sorts of things that...
So for you as an owner, so I come back to you and I say that, and are you of the belief, well, the customer is always right, so we have to just blow her hair dry again, or how do you handle that?
No, sometimes it depends on what it is. If it's like a haircut, it could be that sometimes, the hairdresser was not in a good mood or whatever, anything can happen, or it's snapped a bit too much. When that happens, we usually offer like free haircuts up until we had it fixed. But as long as they come and they don't go anywhere else, and they have it fixed. But that only happened like a couple of times because customers weren't really unhappy. But other than that, we really try to go into it, look into the problem and see if it was actually our problem or the customer problem. Because most of the times we had people saying, oh, I want layers and I want this. And if we advise saying that the layers were not suitable for that type of hair, and they still go, oh no, but that's actually the style that I want, we still do them. And then if they don't like it, as it happened a few times, they just go, oh, but that's not really what I asked. The thing is, if you're not a hairdresser and you come with a certain terminology and we explain that that is not for you, but that's exactly what you want, at the end of the day, you have to be happy. So you are the one paying. So we can give an advice. If you still want to have that, we'll do it. There's nothing we can do. So with that, there's nothing we can do. We just let the customer know that it was her choice, and obviously it wasn't a problem from our side. Or color-wise, we had a few people not liking the colors. For example, like some highlights. We added some extra highlights if they were not happy. We always try to make the customer happy, because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to make them happy and we want them to come back. But like that client that she said, oh, after a week, I don't like my color anymore. It's like, there's nothing we can do. It's a week and you've been on holiday. I get it that some people are afraid of saying it face to face back then, like, I don't really like it. So then maybe they go home and they think about it, and then over the phone, they find the strength to be able to say to the hairdresser or whomever, saying, listen, I don't like it. So that I get it. But after a week, it's just not.
That's good. You're very kind. So would you prefer it if the customers in the moment were more like, ugh, I hate this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We had a client, there was a girl who started with us back in the days when we opened, and we let her do only blow dries. She could do blow dries. And she was drying this customer's hair, and she started crying. So my business partner stopped her and said, why are you crying? Is anything wrong? She was like, I don't like the blow dry. It's like, there's no reason to cry. It's like, if you don't like it, if the hairdresser didn't understand what you wanted, it's just a blow dry. We can wet your hair again, you have another chart, and we start over. Absolutely not a problem. We can do it again. And at the end of the day, she left so happy that, we made someone else happy. But it was just that at that time, she was feeling so helpless, probably. She didn't want to say anything to the hairdresser. Probably she didn't want to make her feel bad, or I don't know. But we always try to make everybody happy. So it's what we can do.
You seem like incredibly patient for someone who's worked in customer service for a long time. Do you just really like people? Like, what keeps you? Because I would be burnt out at a certain level if enough people pulled that kind of shit. I'd be like, you know what? Forget it.
That's what my business partner used to do. That's why. The reason why this business survived for so long, it's because I'm that patient. So most of the times that he had issues, he literally left the clients there. He called me and he goes, please go and talk to the clients. So if it was these sort of people, that were just a bit too much, that he couldn't handle it. But I guess I have that patience is because I've been in touch with so many people, and probably I know how to handle them, and that will probably be down to my experience, I guess.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of customer service?
I think at the end of the day is making people happy. Like, if you really make them happy, I think there's no better satisfaction. If you know that at the end of the day you made somebody's day, and you know.
Yeah. What's your least favorite part of customer service?
Having to deal with very nervous people, because you never know what their reaction could be.
When you say nervous, you mean someone who comes in who's like, I don't really want to tell you what I want, and I'm scared.
Like, people don't know how to react to any sort of, discomfort or whatever that could be. You never know. They may take it a bit. If you say a word in the wrong way, they may take it wrong, and you never know their reaction. So that could be a bit the stressful bit of the job.
Can you think of the worst customer interaction you've had where you were like, oh, I may quit customer service for the rest of my life? Like, this is hands down the worst experience I've had.
I wouldn't know, because there were so many. But then at the end of the day, when I think, they all make me laugh. So
Can you tell me one that made you laugh?
one that made me laugh. A client that called, and literally we work mostly on appointments. So sometimes it could be that you can walk past the salon and we don't have any clients because we are either waiting, or people are in the shampoo room, or they're downstairs. One client called and she tried to book an appointment, and she goes, well, every time I walk past the salon there's nobody. Why don't you want to book me an appointment? I was like, how do you think that I don't want to book you an appointment? So I had to laugh with her, and she got even more upset. And was like, why are you laughing? It's like, because what do you think, that it's my own business, and how could I not want people to come into my business? And she goes, why is your salon always empty? But we have different areas, so it's not always like that. And she goes, well, then maybe I'm not gonna come. Like, okay, then it's your choice. But if you just want to go at certain times and a certain day, and we cannot do it, we cannot. There's nothing I can do. So this is one that made me laugh at the end of the day, and it was just ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's your absolute favorite customer experience you've had, or a customer experience where you were like, oh, this touched me so much? Like, I remember this one particular customer.
Is a client that moved to the US, and she was always very kind, and she never really had lots of interactions with me, but I could tell that she liked me, and she knew the way that I treated her, the coffee, or the very quick talk by the desk. At the end of the day, before she left, she goes, oh, can I hug you, because I really enjoyed coming here and seeing you smile. I was like, oh my God, you really made my day. Because at the end of the day, we never really had that sort of interaction, and I would have never expected, that sort of gesture from her. So that was really something.
Is this something you've experienced? I find this to be true, that energetically, even if you don't actually interact with someone much, you can just tell you would just get on great, and you just really
absolutely. Yeah. You can tell straight away.
Yeah, you can. Okay, and so if you were to give advice to anyone coming to interact specifically at a salon, for customers in general, that you wish they knew and that they would just do every time, besides like being honest in the moment if they don't like something, what's the thing that you wish they knew?
Do you mean customer from outside coming in?
Yeah.
Probably to leave their issues outside.
Oh, come on.
Like, I guess with every person, whoever goes to a restaurant or a shop, at the end of the day, we're all working, and so you don't know what the other person is going through, and same time what the other person. But if you go and ask for a service, you shouldn't let all your issues, all your problem that you have into somebody else, because at the end of the day, that person's just doing his job or her job. So I guess probably having a bit of patience both sides. I would say.
And the tipping culture in the States is like, we tip everybody for just even our dry cleaners, we're tipping everybody. Is there tipping in this kind of salon? And if there isn't, do you think that people would get better customer service if the UK in general really adopted the tipping culture?
Maybe yes, maybe not. It's because in the US, I lived in the US, and it's kind of, they expect it. So if you don't leave it, it's a bit of, they then at the end of the day they look at you. They may even treat you, let's say, even bad if you don't leave it. If you're not used to it, because most of the people are not used to it. So if you don't know, some people just don't know, and they don't understand. But I believe that at the end of the day, if you do your job well, whether you get tips or not, I think the satisfaction, obviously we all work for money. Like, come on, we can't deny that. Yeah. But the satisfaction should come when you actually see customers that are really happy. So, and if they would tip, obviously people will be happier. But I don't think that's really necessary, because then it's the job of that person that is serving at that moment. Should already know that that's the purpose. So a tip should be an extra. So
okay. And is there tipping at the salon?
If clients want, they can tip the stylist directly.
But it's not.
Some people do, some people don't.
Okay. So the younger clientele don't do it. They don't.
They don't do it.
And the older clientele do?
Older clientele do.
What do you think that is?
I guess probably also depending on how much they get paid.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you just try to save as much as you can.
Yeah, that's right. So when you lived in the U.S. versus living here, if you were to open, did you have a business in the U.S.?
No,
you didn't. Would you see yourself being able to make more money if you had this business in, say, like Boston or New York? Or would you say, like, this is the most profitable between the States versus the UK?
I wouldn't know, because I don't really know the market in the States. But I will say probably you'll make more money in the States than here.
Yeah, you think? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything, I so appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you, want people to know about customer service? Or is there anything else about your story that feeds into it? Like, do you come from generations of customer service, or were you the first person to jump into hospitality? Like, how did you get here?
I was the first person. So as I worked in properties before, I was obviously on my own and never meeting anyone really, or I wasn't in direct contact with people. But I guess this is definitely my environment. And if you are a bubbly person and you like to be in contact with people, I think that's exactly what people should do. Because as I said, the satisfaction that you get by seeing people that are satisfied, I think is priceless.
And I've heard this to be true at salons. Have people revealed things here and told you so-and-so just died, or I'm getting a divorce or something deeply personal that you guys then had to kind of hold space for?
This is not only a hair salon. This is a therapy room, basically. So people come here and they let themselves go. It's at the end of the day, they say that the hairdresser is the other person you love after your husband. It's because if you find the hairdresser that you trust, you let yourself go, and he becomes better than your best friend. So because they know that the secrets kind of stay here. Yeah. So yeah,
that's a cross-cultural thing, because they always say that in the States, if you want to get the best gossip, you go to the barbershop or the hair salon. That's where everything's happening. That's interesting. So that's true in London too.
But it is true in London, but in London it's a bit different, because usually families don't tend to go to the same places. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
so
interesting. Yeah. So they keep it super separate. They're no, my secret's really.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. How can people if they want to book an appointment with you? Because we have an international audience, so there will be people that can hear it over here. So how can people get here?
They can book online. They just go on Google and look for 21 Salon, or on our website 21salon.co.uk, and they can easily find us.
Okay, and say your name again. They'll ask for you.
My name is Walter.
Okay. Thanks, Walter.
You're
Thanks.
very welcome.
What's your name?
My name's Harry.
Harry, where are you from?
I'm from Essex.
You're from Essex. Okay, and have you always lived in the UK?
Yes.
Okay. In the States, we're big on tipping. We tip everybody for everything. It's insane. Do you notice that culture is changing here, and do you think it should?
I don't really know. I feel like when I went to the US, I noticed that you tip for absolutely everything, everything. That it's not so much like that here. I know that.
Okay. Did you find it annoying when you were over there?
No, I was younger then. I'm still quite young now, so.
Okay. Were you happy to do it when you were there?
Yeah, I mean, sure. It makes people stay.
Okay. Do you do it here?
Me, not so much now. I've not so much money, so.
Well, that's honest. Okay, so if you...
So.
You are, okay. And what do you feel like the customer service when you were in the States? You're probably a lot younger when you were there, but did you feel like it was better or worse than here?
Probably better, because obviously they're more motivated to do a better job, since they know they'll probably get tipped.
Yeah. Do you work in customer service?
No, I don't.
Okay. Have you ever?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you have any desire to?
Can't say I do.
Why not?
I want to join the military, so.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for college.
Oh, you are? And are you being funded by the military to go through school? How does that work?
No, it's just, it's literally around the corner. It's a military college. That's why I'm here. I'm only 16. So.
You're only 16. You're a baby. Okay. So aspirations to do the military, and then do you think you'll retire from there?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Is it in your family?
No.
No. You the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, your parents so scared?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, bless. Okay, well, is there anything that, like, when you interact with, like, baristas or, like, say they got your drink wrong, how would you handle it?
There's no need to be rude about it, because that makes me feel awkward as well. I'll just say, oh, sorry, would I be able to change this? Or I'll just ignore it, because I know that they're under a lot of stress as well.
That's really sweet. So you would maybe just drink it. What if it's, like, the totally wrong drink?
Then I'll say to them, like, oh, sorry, would you be able to change this?
Have you ever had a customer service worker be rude to you?
Yes.
About what?
I don't know. It just happens, doesn't it? It's not always their fault, because obviously in customer service stuff they get moaned at a lot, so they might just be angry or something like that, and then you might come off a bit rude or like urgent for something, and then they just get annoyed. So yeah.
And you just roll with it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're very nice. Thank you. So I'm walking and recording this because I just committed like a social faux pas, but I kind of knew I was maybe sort of doing that. There were 2 police officers who were city police officers in London, which is different, I guess, than in the area. I don't know, whatever. They were the more important ones that actually carry guns. And I went up to them, I'm like, hey, I've got this podcast. I totally want to get a perspective from cops in London. And they were so polite to me because they're British. And they were like, well, actually, at the moment, we're sort of in the middle of something. And some guy ran out. And so whatever they were trying to do or whatever bust that they were making happen, they were too polite to be like, get the fuck out of my face. We're busy. I just try to get police officers to record because I was getting bold on these street interviews, just rolling up to people because I've been a little shy to do it. But yeah, just did it just now and got told no in the most polite way ever, which included, I don't know, it was probably some sort of robbery or something. I don't actually know. But good job, me. Onwards. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Service from Hell, and we're wrapping up another bonus episode. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much to all of the people that took time and spoke with me. It was so fascinating to get their take on everything, and it was really fascinating that almost universally everyone was like, yeah, no, tipping doesn't really... we don't want it here. It doesn't really move the needle, which I disagree. My friend has a theory that she always gets worse customer service in countries where there is no tipping. And I thought, no way, that's true. And then when I was over there, I was like, oh yeah, I experienced some of the worst customer service I've ever experienced when I was over there. And there is a service charge on all of the tickets that I was like, well, that is a tip. And they said, no, it's not compulsory. Like you can have that taken off. And I thought, who's getting that taken off? So there sort of is tipping without them saying that it's tipping. It's sort of odd. And, like when you get your nails done or your hair done, there is, you throw, what they say, they call it throwing a $5 at it. And so like you throw down 5 pounds extra or whatever to whatever experience you're getting. So you are tipping. They just don't want to acknowledge it. It feels like it was a little weird. But all of that to say, thank you folks so much for listening. Thank you to all of the people that participated. And I had some really lovely customer service experiences there too. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh no, it was all terrible. It wasn't. We had some really, really lovely experiences over there too. But it was crazy to me how universally it was kind of like, half as good, I would say, as it is in the States. And so there is a little bit of singing for your supper when you're over here because someone just gets to decide how much they're going to gift you. And I say that all the time, tipping is a gift. So yeah, it was really fascinating to get their perspective. We will be back next week with the same format you know and love, and same bad time, same bad place. We will be joined by a comic who used to work at the Apple Store for 5 years and has quite a story about that. So feel free to check us out next week. Thank you folks so much for listening. Good night.